and welcome to American Defender. Guys, I'm going to talk today about the most overlooked pistol. I even overlooked it. Hell, I didn't even know it existed. Okay. But this thing is the most overlooked pistol on the entire market. And it's kind of a shame it's so overlooked. And I don't know why it's so overlooked. There's no reasoning for it to be overlooked. I cannot find a con with this particular pistol. This is the first time in a long time, and maybe even ever, that I cannot find a con. Alright, so what I want to talk about today is the Sig Sauer SP 2022. This right here is the game changer. If you are in the market for a handgun, and again, I don't sell things, I'm just here to give you information, but if you're in the market for a handgun, and you're like, what do I go get? You go get that. You listen to Jim, you go get that. Forget the Glock, forget the 320, forget the Hellcat, you go get this. It's tested, it's tried, it's been around for a couple of decades now. It's based on a very successful line of pistol by Sig Sauer, which would be their P series, like the 226, the 228, the 229, the 220, but it's got a polymer frame. It's hammer fired, which gives you more control than a striker does. There's no safety. Okay, so many people are like, I don't want a thumb safety. You can get them with or without it. It comes in 9mm 40 and 357 SIG. There's no detent safety even in here. It's double action, single action. It does have a decocker. Your controls are boom. Both of them are right there. And when you put your thumb up, you lift up, watch your slide. Come up, grab it, drop your slide. You want to decock it? You decock it by pressing this lever down. And the thing I like about the decocker is, if you'll notice my hammer here, I can ease it down. There's none of this, just click and it's down. Alright? If I want to decock this thing, I can ease all that down. I have control over the entire weapon. I have, and that's a big deal to me, is the control of my weapon. Okay, the hammer spur doesn't stick way out there like it does on some 1911s and other firearms. This gun is 100% drop safe. It will not fire. You can't make it, not unless you pull that trigger. All right. The cool thing too that I like about this is, in this position right here, the face of this hammer is about a 1/4 inch away from the firing pin. So if I was to fire this, you'll see that in a firing position, it goes in that deep before it ever even touches the firing pin. And then that's the firing pin fully depressed. Alright, so it sucks most of that hammer, if not all of it, into the slide. Which is really nice, because if there's no chance of any foreign matter getting in there. It blocks all that off. There's a lot of guns that don't do that are hammer fired. You have a loaded chamber indicator, replaceable grips on there, so you can get you'll get 2 with it. I have what would be considered the small on there, which is just, there's a flat spot right there on the back, and on the large it's just round like the traditional SIG would be. But that's what this is based on. It's basically the 228 and the 226. There's a 3.8 inch barrel. It's a little over 7 inches. I think it's 7.2 inches long, a little over 5 inches tall, 1.4 inches wide, weighs 29 ounces with a magazine in it. We have a 1913 rail on the top. It also comes with the SIG Light tritium night sights. And the slide on this is stainless steel, and it's nitride coated. You're getting everything you would get with the really expensive P-Series SIGs in this handgun. They don't short you on the quality at all with it, or the accuracy, or the features of it. They just kind of tried to bring that particular platform up to date by, instead of having an aluminum frame, having a polymer frame, making it a little bit lighter. Your trigger pull in double action is a very smooth 10 pounds. In single action, it's a very smooth 4.5 pounds, which is lighter than a Glock. Your reset is very solid, okay? Very solid, very short, very audible. I know I've heard a lot of people talk about a false reset on these. I've yet to experience that at all with this thing. I think that's people just getting a little antsy to shoot, all right? I never had a false reset once today when I took it out. The breakdown of this gun requires no tools and no real strange manipulations of the trigger or anything. All you have to do is kind of like a 1911. You pull your slide back, all right, and you have a notch right here. That's going to line up here, all right. So what we'll do is we'll pull that back, and there we are. Push out the release here, and then just pull it up. That's it. Comes apart. Okay, you can see the internals right there. We have very, very beefy, nice looking rails sitting right there. It's not a continuous rail like the other SIGs. That is a little different. But our locking block is monstrous on here. All of our controls and everything are made to absolute precise dimensions and very, very high standards, as well as all the machining in here. Now you will notice that there will be a hollow spot right here. There's a slot cut out right here. That's so if you have a model with the safety, that's where all your safety mechanism will be. Right here we have our drop safe right there, part of it. Our guide rod. If we take a look at this guide rod, it is a flat spring. It is not captured, which is okay. We have a polymer guide rod, but it's not a super flimsy guide rod. It's actually pretty stout. The back of the guide rod has a little detent on the back there, a little notch, if you will, or a bump that locates into your barrel right there in the end, as you can see. So it stays locked in place and doesn't roll around in there and move. Your barrel is absolutely beefy and just beautiful in all of its machining. Again, there's no machining flaws or nothing at all in this. She is dirty because, like I said, I just went and shot it. But the lockup on it is absolutely solid. SIG has always been known for perfect lockup, perfect strong lockup. So I mean, you're getting everything with this thing. You're getting that P226, 228 kind of quality, but you're not paying as much because they went ahead and the two things they changed is the fact that you have a polymer frame and you don't have the little switch type takedown where you just flip a lever, you have to pull a pin. Between those two things, they took their elite models, which are usually somewhere in the neighborhood of about $1,000, and they put them into this model, and you can buy this cheaper than you can a brand new Glock Gen 5. Right? And when I say cheaper, I mean a lot cheaper. All right. Right now, if you were to go buy a brand spanking new, say Glock 19 or a Glock 17 Gen 5, you're going to spend about $550 to $600 for it. You can buy this brand new. The highest price I saw was $499. The lowest price I saw for it was $389. Comes with 3 magazines, 2 grips, night sights. I mean, you have to spend even more with a Glock to get the night sights. It's another $100. So, equipment-wise, I mean, this thing right here is so overlooked, and it's so much better than anything Glock would ever give you. On top of that, the reputation of this gun. Now, see, like I said, it's overlooked. It's overlooked in the civilian market. It's not overlooked in the military and police market because that's where this thing got its inception from. See, back in 1998, Sig came out with the predecessor to this pistol known as the Sig Pro. And then as time went on, I think it was around 2012 or so, France came to Sig and said, hey, we really like your Sig Pro. We want to order, 250,000 of these things, but we want you to change a couple things. Would you do that for us? And Sig said, yeah, sure. We'll do that for you. They wanted them to add a lanyard loop. Now, on the old models, it stuck out. On the new models, like this one, this is a 2023 model, as you can see right there. Actually, this is a 2024 model. It's just a hole here. There's nothing sticking out. You have, again, the replaceable straps, the texturing, the enlarged trigger guard, all of this, the Picatinny rail, that was all because of France. Well, after that happened, the U.S. Army looked at this and said, well, we kind of want it too. And so the U.S. Army bought 225,000 of these, and they are used by tankers, they are used in the motor pool, they are used by MPs. It's seen use and adoption by the United States Army. Several hundred different police precincts out there use these, all right, here in the United States. So, in the military and police world, it's not overlooked. It's actually cherished. It's in the civilian world that it's overlooked, and I don't know why. I got a suspicion that it's YouTube, okay, because that's where a lot of people are getting their information. YouTube, all right, and a lot of the publications out there. The Sig SP 2022, though, it's Sig's little secret. All right. Now, how does this thing shoot? Now, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, I'm not a huge fan of 9mm. But yet here I am with one, talking about it, over the moon about it. What changed? Well, I don't like 9mm, really, because up until this point in time, I've never found one that met my standards. And one of my biggest standards is, at 11 yards, I've got to be able to repeatedly print under a 1-inch group with it. Just offhand, like so. I've got to be able to do that. And I did that with this. Right here. Now there's a piece of paper that kind of got blown out. Let me try to remedy this target real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But if I can get this to flip around without breaking it. There we go. Now you can see it. Kind of. If I can get it to straighten out. Alright, so we have right there, you can see it, we have a 5-shot. We have 2 5-shot groups here, okay? We've got a group right there, and there's a little group right here. Both of these 2 groups are under 1 inch. If you overall look at that, you'll kind of see. Alright? There's a group, there's a group, there's a group, there's a group. It'll keep doing that. Now, all the rest of this right here was just pop, 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 just having fun. But it'll exemplify that again up in here, where I was taking headshots. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shots right there, right within each other. Okay, now that my wife was shooting at this as well, she's kind of over in here and over in there and a lot right up in there. But even my wife, never shot this. And by the way, this is the first time I ever shot this gun. Right there, look, there's another little group that she shot. She started slowing down, and look, little itty bitty group. That's what I've been looking for, and that's kind of my standards when it comes to a defensive handgun. Now, I know there's a lot of folks out there that are like, as long as you can do 5 shots within a 5-inch circle at 5 yards, you're okay. You're right. But it's not good enough for me. Not to sound like a snob, because I'm not. But I've been kind of spoiled with the air guns and everything, and getting into the world of just focusing on accuracy. And really, that's what we should be focusing on, right? Is finding the most accurate, best fitting tool for us. Well, for a handgun, that's actually it for me. The SP 2022. After shooting it here at 11 yards, by the way, no stoppages. It's a SIG. It ain't going to jam. All right. So, it ain't going to have stoppages. I think today we put 300 or so rounds through it of some Federal 115 grain. Prior to that, Broseph probably put 1,000 rounds through the thing. So, of various different types of Hornady hollow point. So, in my usual fashion, after going 11 yards, I've got to see how it does at 300. Okay. The thing I could tell you about these sights and the sight system, and we hear so much about bore axis, about a high bore axis, and recoil and it affecting accuracy. I'm going to tell you right now, in this particular case, it seems to have helped. It seems to have helped me, because at 300 yards, which is not a practical use for any pistol, this thing was dinging the gong, and I caught it on video. So there's a lot of background noise, because again, I'm at the range. But I am calling my shots. This defender's watching and filming for us this time. You're going to see me shooting, and I'm calling the shots as they go. Okay? You have to forgive the guy that was 2 benches over from me with his AR-10 thinking he was Rambo. The noise-canceling mic in my phone was playing with things. But several different times we hit 300 yards with this. And the thing that I learned about the sighting system at any distance, put the front dot in the middle of the target, shoot it all the way out to 300 yards. It was the same. Line them up, put the dot on the target, not above the target, not below the target. Put it on the target, dead center, pull the trigger. Bing! 300 yards. Okay? Normally, you have to kind of get a little bit above the target or a little bit below. This thing, it doesn't matter where it was. The sighting on this thing is so dead on and perfect. From 11 to 300, which is like a broad spectrum, and it's very unusual. But when something works, it works. Okay? And this worked. So I'm going to quit yammering for a second. Here's the footage. And I hope you enjoy it. Here you go. Hey everybody, how you doing? Got the SIG SP 2022 9mm going 300 yards. Yeah. Hit. Just a little bit low. That was a hit. Just a little bit high. That was a hit. Okay, guys, so there you go. 300 yards with the SP 2022 and 9mm firing, 115 grain Federal. Contacted several different times. No problems whatsoever. I mean, what more could you ask for out of a pistol? Are we ever going to be taking 300-yard shots with our pistols, folks? Probably not. Okay. Are we going to be taking an 11-yard shot with our pistol? Absolutely, we are going to. Okay, it's a very high probability. Carry weight of this thing being at 29 ounces is absolutely perfect. You get enough grip on here. Again, 3 magazines. I can't say enough good things about the SP 2022 from Sig Sauer. This is their dirty little secret right here. They still make them. They're very affordable. And if you're in the market for a handgun, stop looking, go buy this one and be done with it. You'll be very happy you did. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. God bless you guys all. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you would like as well, because I'm going to starting to get back into the flow of things here. So if you like this kind of content, subscribe, like. God bless you. God bless America. Please remember to take a kid fishing, take a kid shooting. And I will see you on the flip. Bye now.